and welcome to ADHD Audacity. My name is Hanako and this is my newest hyperfixation. The Percy Jackson TV show that is currently coming out with new episodes weekly on Disney Plus is known to be a lot more faithful to the book that it's adapting than previous attempts. Despite that, it does include some changes. Some that are more noticeable, some are less. Some that are more controversial among book fans, some less controversial. Here are my top 3 changes the Percy Jackson TV show made in comparison to the books. Number 3. The St. Louis Arch. There are multiple things that were changed about the scene at the St. Louis Arch in the TV show compared to the books. The change that made it onto my top 3 was Percy's sacrifice.
Take this.
In the books, Percy jumps from the St. Louis Arch into the Mississippi River, which the author Rick Riordan thought was going underneath the arch. That, however, is not the case. Book fans, as I, were very curious how they would fix that in the TV show, and I, for my part, am very happy with the result. In the TV show, Percy falls from the arch after his fight with the Chimera through a hole in the ground that Echidna opens up in the arch. Mid-fall, he's grabbed by water and pulled into the Mississippi River. The changes, however, begin already before that. Instead of getting separated naturally like in the books, the 3 of them are about to face the Chimera together, and Annabeth says that one of them has to stay behind to buy the other 2 time. She volunteers to do that, but Percy takes her place at the last minute. This change doesn't just show us a lot about the characters, but it also touches on Percy's fatal flaw, a concept in Percy Jackson that we will learn later about, as well as that Percy's fatal flaw is extreme personal loyalty, which I think is shown very well here through his sacrifice. Furthermore, in the books, he sacrifices himself too, kind of. He jumps from the arch so that the other people present, the tourists, would not get injured. By changing this to him sacrificing himself for Annabeth and Grover, we already have a lot stronger attachment to these characters, and the scene gets more emotional, as well as building on the relationship between the 3. For that, and because it fixes this minor mistake in the books, it is my 3rd place for the top 3 changes in the Percy Jackson TV show. It also creates an interesting parallel, which I will talk about in my next video. On 2nd place, Hephaestus' trap.
This is a bad idea. Stand up. I can't. I'm okay.
Hephaestus' trap is one of the more obvious changes in the TV show. In the books, Percy and Annabeth are attacked by mechanical spiders and broadcasted to Olympus. It also shows very well Annabeth's arachnophobia, which we will later learn all kids of Athena share due to one part of the Greek mythology I don't want to say too much about just yet to keep it spoiler free. In the show, however, they are presented with a sort of throne one of them has to sit upon so that the other can get the shield. However, that throne will trap you in place, and only one of them, as it seems, can get out of that situation. I like this change for 2 main reasons. First, because it gives us another very interesting piece of Greek mythology, and that is the story about Hephaestus building this throne for Hera and also how he got to be Aphrodite's wife. I actually did not know this part, and it was interesting because in the books I actually thought, why was Aphrodite the wife of Hephaestus when she constantly cheats on him with Ares, for example? And the second reason is that again it shows the character's fatal flaws. First, Percy with his personal extreme loyalty, but also how he sees himself at this point in the story, as less valuable, as less capable.
It isn't about that. What could it possibly be about if it isn't about that? You're better at this than me.
Which we all learn later on is absolutely not true. But also Annabeth's fatal flaw, hubris, pride, extreme pride. She thinks that a trap that not even the gods could dismantle, that she can somehow figure out how it works and free Percy.
I'm not leaving without my friend.
Yeah, that isn't really how it works. It's kind of a one-way sort of thing. It can't be undone.
How do you know?
Additionally, introducing Hephaestus this early adds another layer of complexity to the question whether the gods are actually good or evil, a question that is discussed throughout the show in multiple places and that we know will end, or at least book readers definitely know, will add to the central conflict of the books and what leads ultimately to the plot at all. Before we get to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. First off, Annabeth pushing Percy into the lake.
I'm sorry. What is wrong with you?
I really liked showing that she already knew who Percy's father was, or at least suspected it, because it shows her intellect. It shows the Annabeth from the books that is always 3 steps ahead of everyone. They touch on that a couple of times, they say it, but this time it perfectly does this thing called show don't tell that we love in media, specifically in movies and TV shows. Another honorable mention would be the story of Medusa and the added complexity to it. In the books, she was more or less just another monster, but in the TV show, you get a little bit more background to her story, a little bit of complexity and how the characters handle it. I love this because myths evolve often with the time and the culture and how they're told, and there are often various versions of the same myth, and they get different meanings throughout time. So giving Medusa's story more complexity here, I think was a very smart move. And on the first place, we have Sally Jackson, or to be precise, how they expanded her character and her relationship with Percy.
Yeah, he wasn't a man at all. He was a god.
You fell in love with God? Like Jesus?
I might be a bit biased on this point, for one, because Sally Jackson is one of my absolute favorite characters in the Percy Jackson universe, and second, because she reminds me a lot of my own mom. I was really happy to see these important moments between the two of them in the show, and these moments that I think almost every neurodivergent child can relate to and how they were handled.
You are not broken. You are singular. You're a miracle. And you are my son.
That scene when Percy said there was something wrong with him, or when he was expelled and instead of judging him or berating him, she just hugged him, was everything to me.
I told him I believed my kid. It was a real sure call.
I wanted to come home.
You're welcome home again.
I understand that I'm weird. Believe me, I get it. It really wasn't my fault. It really wasn't my fault.
This very much feels like the Sally Jackson from the book, just more of that, and I couldn't be happier about it. In fact, I love these scenes so much, I might make a video just about those and analyzing them. Tell me in the comments if you'd be interested in that. These were my top 3 changes the Percy Jackson TV show did compared to the books. Tell me, did I miss any? Do you agree with my ranking? And should I perhaps make a video about the top 3 worst changes in my opinion? If so, it'll appear right here on the screen, and if not, perhaps another interesting video? You might want to click on it. Now I hope you have a wonderful and amazing day. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you liked it, and I see you soon.